Yesterday, we talked about some of these insane threats that have been coming from Carmelo Anthony supporters. And I know that Carmelo Anthony supporters saying crazy, hateful things isn't something new. However, I do believe that these threats are getting more intense. And this latest information, y'all, I think this latest information might prove what we have all suspected all along. And that is that Carmelo Anthony supporters, at least some of them, are not acting on their own. They're not speaking on their own. They are acting and speaking on behalf of Carmelo Anthony's family and the people representing Carmelo Anthony's family. And it's funny because the activist, the baby shaker, Dominique Alexander, and others, they've been saying this entire time that, oh, we shouldn't allow this case to play out in the court of public opinion. This case should play out in the court of law. They've been trying to silence people who have been supporting Austin, saying, oh, this case involves minors. We shouldn't be talking about it. And look, I would respect that if there was some mutual agreement that was made to where everyone just sits by and we all wait until the trial, right? But that's never been the case. It's not like me and other people supporting Austin are coming out with all types of fake stories that we created off the top of our head. No, we've been talking about information that was in the police reports. And all of the other stuff we've been talking about is just a reaction to what Carmelo's family and their supporters have been doing. So this entire time when we have seen all of these crazy rumors being spread, we've seen these crazy threats. It turns out that a lot of it is coming from Carmelo Anthony's family and their spokespeople directly. And we know that for a fact because Charleston White kind of revealed that. He went and had a meeting with Carmelo's father. Next thing you know, he was online making up weird theories about, oh my God, this all had to do with Carmelo's private parts and his print. Man, the story has gotten so weird. But as I was saying, the attacks have gotten more intense, especially on Sarah Fields, an independent journalist that has been covering this case. They, and I kid you not, I'm not sure if you watched my last video about it. You should if you haven't already, because it gets insane. These people are counting down the days until she gives birth. And they are vowing that after she gives birth, they're going to make her life a living hell. They know where her husband works at. They know where she lives and all of that stuff. And I mean, it's really, really crazy stuff, folks. I can't imagine how it feels to be pregnant and you got people online counting down the days until you give birth, saying that they're going to make your life a living hell and that you should fear for your life. All of this stuff, this is not an exaggeration. This is stuff that Carmelo supporters are saying. And in my video yesterday, I pointed out, or I talked about the fact that I believe that this guy, this Timothy or girl, I don't know who this person is. I believe this person is most likely in contact with Carmelo's family. And it turns out he is. That has been revealed. This guy threatening to literally unalive a pregnant journalist right now. And by the way, there's no consequences for this. These people aren't kicked off of social media, nothing. They're allowed to just say whatever crazy stuff they want. Meanwhile, when I question things like COVID, I get kicked off of social media. But anyways, it turns out that we now know for a fact that this person, this crazy, insane person, who has thrown out who has thrown out the craziest threats since this story began, we know for a fact that he's in contact with Carmelo Anthony's dad. And it's not because people had to do like top secret spy work to figure this out. This guy publicly posted screenshots of his communications with Karmelo's dad. So as they're telling everyone, hey, you need to stop talking about this case. We need to let it play out in court, yada, yada, yada. Karmelo's dad is having conversations behind the scenes with Charleston White and other just random people. And it turns out that every time these people have a conversation with Karmelo Anthony's dad, the next step is, hey, let's go attack Sarah Fields. Really weird. Almost like they've been given the order, right? Well, let's go ahead and look at this little snippet of messages that this psycho shared between him and Karmelo Anthony's father. But first, let me ask you guys for a huge favor. If you're here, if you enjoyed the videos, I try to put out multiple videos a day for you guys. I would put out even more if you all start hitting that like button. I know you like watching, you get comfortable, maybe you think that the like button is just there for decorations. It's not. When you hit the like button, it helps the channel. So be sure, when you come watch these videos, if you don't do anything else, hit that like button. Now, if you want to take your support further, you can subscribe if you haven't already. We also want to hear from you down in the comments below, and I do accept donations via Cash App or Super Thanks. Always greatly appreciated, but never mandatory. With that being said, let's go ahead and dive into these messages, shall we? Now, it's just a screenshot of a piece of a conversation this person was having with Karmelo's father. But this screenshot is all we need to know that these psychopaths are in direct contact with Karmelo's family. Few days. I messaged them their addresses. Justine, or Justin particularly, I told her the hospital her husband currently a doctor in. Now they going around telling MFers on TikTok I'm threatening them. Like I really give a F. Laugh, 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 laugh. Oh, wow. Why they keep harassing us, though, says Karmelo Anthony's father. Because they rallied behind Sarah. Everything Sarah do or say, they take as like a commandment. Like she God or something. It's really weird. This whole box opened up because Sarah, seriously. And she's in redacted Texas. And pregnant. Like it's outrageous. That's why I said I gotta come there. Because I know her husband's job site. And something gotta give. Let this play out. She doing stuff for views and engagement for money from gullible people. Like she doing a little too much. Focus on her family and not y'all family. And I'm going to take care of that. So this person shared this screenshot themselves. Literally telling Karmelo's father, hey, I got the addresses for all of these people. I know where they live. I know where they work. And I'm going to do something about it. So Karmelo Anthony's father is in direct contact with people who are threatening to unalive or hurt the people who are covering the Austin Metcalf case. More specifically, a pregnant woman by the name of Sarah Fields, who has been revealing a lot of information in this case. And I guess Karmelo Anthony's father is okay with this. I wouldn't be surprised if Karmelo Anthony's father is the one that is, like I said, giving the direct orders to these people. I highly doubt that Austin Metcalf's family is in contact with people who are threatening to unalive Karmelo or Karmelo's family. This is absolutely disgusting. And I hope that it somehow, some way comes up in court. Obviously, it might not, but still, for this to be going on surrounding a case, I do think something needs to be done about this. Because this is getting pretty serious. And when I read messages like what I just read, I have no choice but to take them seriously. And you already got to think about the fact that we're dealing with unhinged, I would say mentally disturbed people. I think that you have to be in a certain mindset to even support Carmelo Anthony from the get-go, let alone support him to the point that you're talking about going to an area where you don't live to hurt people and their husbands and their significant others. You're finding addresses to where these people live and the hospitals where these people work, all while just telling Carmelo Anthony's father all of this. And he's okay. Oh, wow, why do they keep harassing our family? It's... Sorry, I don't know if there's anything left to say about these people, right? Like, what is there left to say? But I can tell you this. We still have a long time before trial. And anything could happen between now and then. And I do think some of these people who are supporting Carmelo are capable of hurting people. So I do think that possibility is on the table. But what else is happening here is Carmelo Anthony's family, they've been getting desperate. They've been getting desperate for a while. And now they're getting really sloppy. Having Charleston White come out and say the things that he said to millions of people who watched his video, admitting that he's having conversations with Carmelo and his father, and they're feeding him this weird information to share with the public, that's sloppy. That's sloppy. This person who is threatening to hurt a pregnant woman and stalk her and find her husband and all of that, him uploading and posting screenshots of his conversations with Carmelo's dad, that's sloppy. These are things that should be happening. They shouldn't be happening at all. But if you're a smart person, this is stuff that's happening behind the scenes. You don't say the quiet part out loud. You don't post screenshots of your crimes. But that's what these people are doing. And they're going to get even sloppier. And it's not helping Carmelo. We can get mad at what these people are saying, rightfully so. But they're not doing Carmelo any favors. They're making him look worse. They're making his family look worse. They're making themselves look worse. And I don't know what's going to happen at trial, but I wonder if any of this stuff at all will be brought up. And if not, there will most likely be some lawsuits that come about. And Carmelo's dad is digging himself a very deep hole. I mean, Charleston White and other Carmelo supporters are already getting sued by Sarah Fields. And I don't know where Austin's family's head is at right now. I haven't talked to them. I don't know how they feel about what's going on. But I think they got a lawsuit on their hands as well. And I think that because of these screenshots, because of what Charleston White has been saying, and I hope that they're keeping all of this documented, I think they got a definite case on their hands. They definitely got a lawsuit on their hands. And they definitely have proof on video and pictures that Carmelo's dad is directly in contact with people who are launching hate and harassment campaigns against their family, against their dead son, and against anyone who dares to speak out in defense of them or their son. So yeah, let them keep getting messy. It's not going to work out for them in the long run. But for now, you guys let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.